Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Man, I'm still waking up, but I don't know about you. I'm happy I'm here. I'm so glad to be back up here soloing for you guys today. We have Doug Mattson filling in for Paula. He's awesome. Let's give a hand for Doug. All right, and you're in the right place at the right time. I want you to know that. And we're all here together, and we're going to sing about it. All right? Come on, wake up. All right, here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In my soul. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome, and your soul is welcome, and all our souls are welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I am just where I am meant to be. And oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here, and I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here, and oh, my soul is welcome here, and I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Let me see your hands up. Come on. Hey. My soul is welcome here. Woo, yeah. And my soul is welcome here. Yeah. And my soul is welcome here. Yeah, yeah. And my soul is welcome here. Yeah. My soul is welcome. It's welcome here. And my soul is welcome here. Yeah. My soul is welcome. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Please be seated. Thank you.
On this wonderful, wonderful day.
Good morning, Reverend James, and it's great to see you, and it's great to be here.
All righty then.
And we welcome you in the name of all that is good, all that is holy, and all that is sacred, and in the warm and loving energy of this community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people, worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and of course the beautiful temples of nature, because we know there is no space that God does not grace. And if you're with us for the very first time today, watching us online or here in person, we especially want to welcome you because we know that you are not here by accident. We are all here by
Divine appointment.
and we are so grateful to be together each day, and that gratitude extends to silencing your electronic devices, and please refrain from flash photography during the service.
Well, now that we created that clearing to connect with the presence, let's commune with this, something that's beyond words, but is so very real. It is something that's known by many different names. We may call it the divine. We may call it divine presence, God, the force. Our task is to call it forth the activity of our awareness so that our thoughts and our words and our deeds are in alignment with the highest possibilities of the human spirit and with the presence of God itself. We come under its government and guidance. We remind each other who and what we really are. And as we remind each other and live from that truth, then we begin to spread a consciousness that anchors the possibilities when we are at our highest and our best. Each and every one of us are unique expressions of the Spirit of the living God. We live from this truth. We speak from this truth. We act from this truth. And we're grateful to be the vessels and the vehicles of the presence. And we say so in the name and the nature of the Spirit of the living God that dwells within each and every one of us. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, we have a very important purpose here at Spiritual Life Center that's reflected in our mission statement. And I invite you to join in as we affirm it together. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world as we love, serve, and remember. And we carry out that mission as we fulfill and embody these 5 universal principles. Again, let's affirm them together. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action.
And of course, the next action that we have coming along is Wow Wednesday, and this is going to be our 3rd night of Understanding Prosperity, and we're going to be talking about the art of program starts at 7.
All right. And also, if you're new to the Spiritual Life Center or just want to know more about Spiritual Life Center, we're having our community member information today at 1 o'clock. It should be at 2:30 or so. Usually doesn't go that long. And if you're online, you can also Zoom in and be part of that experience as well. So we'll share a little bit about, what Spiritual Life Center is about, and how you can possibly get engaged in Spiritual Life Center as a member of our community, and answer any questions that happen to come up for you at that time. So we look forward to you being there, and I'll be there with you.
And of course, we are just coming into our Faith in Action season, and so we are looking for the home hosts and the home hosts and facilitators to sign up this month. Our Faith in Action is it's a yearly book study. I'll get there. There's a yearly book study that the whole community, we buy the book, we read it together, get together in small groups on Sunday. Reverend James and I do talks that relate to the topic for that week. And it's a wonderful time that we all come together and we're looking at the same stuff at the same time. And it's really quite an amazing event. So if you're interested in having a small group in your home, if you want to do it on Zoom, you can do that as well. So we go to the courtyard to sign up. You can sign up online. If you're electronically challenged, we'll help you do it here.
Well, speaking of amazing events, I had the opportunity this week to be in Chicago for the Parliament of the World's Religions. And for those who may not be aware of it, it's an event now that takes place every couple of years. And there are usually about 8,000 or 9,000 attendees that come. They come from maybe 60, 70 different countries. They represent 30 major religions and probably 500 sub-religions of those that I always am learning something more about. And I think for me, it gave me a glimpse of what the world can be when we are seeing the best in everyone and whatever they have to offer and the contribution that they make to our world. So I think one of the things that what makes it unique is that the Parliament is always looking at the higher possibilities of what we can work together on, regardless of what spiritual tradition we may be part of. So they have a global ethic, and they have a number of categories in which they're seeking to get some agreement on and to people to work toward, whether it's nonviolence and respect for life, solidarity for economic order, commitment to a culture of tolerance and life of truthfulness, equal rights, partnerships between men and women. And then the last one they added last few years ago was just a culture of sustainability and care for the earth. So they all came together. And I took a few pictures while I was there just to share. This was a Kijong group that I happened to hang out with for a few minutes there, and they were showing me some of the things that they do in their tradition. And it was very good just to hang out and just learn a little bit about. I learned so much from many of the different traditions, and so that was one of the things that we did. I just asked them a few questions And they gave me I got a bunch of material that I need to read now just to learn a little bit more about their organizations. And then I don't know what the next one is about. Let's see, oh yeah, we just took a picture. And they had us write down like affirmations. So all of those on the wall, which they had a particular booth, and everybody wrote down affirmations, what they wanted to see for the world. So I wrote mine, and they had the affirmations from all the other people that came by their particular area. And they were holding a consciousness of illumination for the world. And so it was wonderful to hang out with them as well. So that was, they were very colorful uniforms they had, as you saw a little bit earlier. And then later on, let's see what else we got. Oh, I was part of a break-off group and a panel. And it was really, my was about marginalized groups across the world and the impact of, climate has had on them, both between countries and within the country. So we took a group picture of that. And then there's a few local folks here from Sacramento that were on that panel as well. And then let's see. And then I was hanging out with some Sikhs. We happened to be in the hallway and, talking. And I said, let me take a selfie. And they joined in for me to have a selfie taken with them. So it was very good just to connect with them. And I don't know if I have anything else up there. Oh, and then Day. I ran into Day and I ran into Paul Sanchez. They were both there at the Parliament. And we're walking down the hallway toward one of the sessions. And I happened to see them. And it's a long hall. I tell you, I got my 10,000 steps in. Every day I was there. And I happened to run into Day and Paul. I don't have your picture. I don't know what happened. That's okay, but we have you here in person. So that was one of the experiences. I'll share a little bit more about what the experiences were, some of the topics, and how we can be part of a global vision of the possibilities of our humanity. So anyway, that was a little glimpse of the Parliament of Our World Religions that I was at this past week. And New Thought was very well represented there. I think we had the second largest contingent, and I can't remember who was number one, but we had a large group. Yes. All right, so let's see. Every periodically, or at least once a month, we have someone come to share a transformational story. And today, we're going to have our one and only Dominic Salazar. And as you know, if those who were there at the cabaret, he did a phenomenal job of facilitating or emceeing that, kind of like at the last minute, as I remember. Yeah,
it was last minute. Yeah,
he's a natural. So we're going to go. I'm going to ask him a few questions, and this is kind of like a spirit-led service experience this morning because we didn't really have a chance to get together, so we're going to figure it out. So
we're gonna wing it professionally.
Yeah. So let me ask you: if there have been any kind of obstacles that you've run into your life that kind of got you on your journey, your spiritual journey?
So, well, first of all, good morning, everyone. I try to be always in a good mood around here, so you guys, may not be able to tell that. But just like with everyone else, we all have our darkness. We all have our hardships and our problems, and I have mine as well. So in the last year or so, actually, it's been just over a year since this all happened. So the end of July of last year, I broke my foot. It was this one right here. And but it's better now. You see, I'm standing on it. It's much better now. But what I thought was just a broken foot, which was bad enough, turned into a whole just snowball effect of things really just going south in my life. I had been playing with this band with some of my best friends, and I had been playing with these guys for nearly a decade. And they took the opportunity of me breaking my foot to, it's not exactly that, but that was when they decided to cut me loose. There was a whole bunch of stuff leading up to that, but it was just kind of rubbing salt in the wound. And at the same time, I was in this very long relationship that ended. It turns out, when I was at this gig breaking my foot, my girlfriend was at home plotting to leave me and move to Seattle. So it was like all in the same night. It was just like, it was wild. And so everything just kind of started falling apart. I had to find a new place to live. I had a broken foot. I had lost my main musical outlet. And, when a bunch of things, and as I told people this, a lot of people said, things come in threes. But, when something like this happens, when it feels like the whole world is falling down on you, it's really easy to fall into an identity crisis, questioning who you are. Was any of it worth it? What was the point of putting in all of that effort, all of that time, just to have it all come to end like this? Yeah.
So it sounds like you went through a period where you didn't kind of know where you were coming or going.
That's right. Yeah.
So at some point, things are hopefully turned around for you because you're here today. Yeah. So
I am here today.
So what happened? How did that turnaround happen?
So I actually started subbing here last April. So a few months before all of this started. But I wasn't regular here until I think like October or something. Or maybe like November, I don't know, something like that. And it took me a while to realize this, but the turning point is kind of, it's still happening, to be honest. I'm still dealing with a lot of these problems that have come from this. But coming here, so I had a big void in my life, right? Like I lost what felt like everything, and it wasn't everything. I still have a lot of good people in my life. But because I had this big void that was opened up, I didn't have a main musical project anymore. I didn't have, I lost a lot of my best friends, felt like overnight. I had a big opening in my life for something new. And that's when you all came along. So, yeah. So that's kind of been the turning point is, and what I've kind of learned from this is that certain doors might close, and some of them might stay kind of open, but that can lead to unexpected opportunities. It can lead to things that so my mother, who might be watching right now, she might be asleep, but she might be watching later on. When I told her I was playing here regularly, she couldn't believe it. I grew up not religious, not really, I avoided church at all costs because I was forced to go as a kid. It's like a kid who was forced to eat vegetables. I didn't like to eat vegetables. I was forced to go to church, so when I was able to finally avoid it, I did. And now here I am every week, and she's just like, I never thought you would be at a place like this. And I never thought I'd be at a place like this either. But, you can find in the darkness, if you look hard enough and if the light shines bright enough, you can find it. And that's kind of what I've learned from all of this.
So was there anything in particular that you kind of latched on that you found to be most helpful to you as you're going through your process now?
I suppose it's really that. It's that you're never going to, what I've learned is, I suppose me, but in general, you are never going to be able to receive opportunities unless you're willing to receive them, unless you're receptive to them.
Yes.
And everyone here is just so nice and so kind. And the more time I spend here and the more time I spend doing things outside of Sunday, like the cabaret and a couple other things, like I've been invited to a game night, which I don't know, were you? I don't think you were at that.
I was at the last one.
We'll be at the next one.
I'll be at
though.
the next one. Yes.
It's really taught me that that the most unexpected things can sometimes be the greatest things. And so I guess what I've latched onto is the light that all of you have shined on me. So thank you all for that.
Thank you. Yeah, we're good. Thank you, Dominic.
More in the next service.
Okay. Transformation everywhere. And so glad to have you here. You bring a great light to us. Well, of course, we have lots of activities to help transform our lives, and you can have a transformation experience just as Dominic has had. So I invite you to check out our weekly groups and other offerings and what's happening at Spiritual Life Center by looking at our website and look at our bulletin board that's in the courtyard, or just go to the hub and get information. And, of course, we come here, among other things, to make connections with folks, so we don't have to wait for a particular activity or event or a cabaret or even a service. We can connect with someone right here and now. So I invite you to turn to a friend or a neighbor and in a manner that feels comfortable for you. Just say, you are marvelous and glad you are here.
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can, take a little time out of your busy day to give encouragement to someone who's lost their way. Or would I be talking to a stone if I asked you to share a problem that's not your own?
Yeah, it was a good trip, man. Glad to be here.
We can change things if we start giving. Why don't you?
Yes, yeah, it was a true event. Good to see you as well.
That was a good time.
Yeah,
Somebody's hand. All right, guys. Please stay standing for our group song. And I'm going to need a little help with you guys. You're going to sing with me on this one. I do believe
I will receive.
I just have to know. Join us in singing our group song. Declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. All right, I'm gonna need your help now, okay? Here we go. You're gonna repeat after me. I do believe I will receive. You just have to know, yeah. And then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. All right, I think you guys get it now. All right, let's do another time with this. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind. Just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. And I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. And serves my highest good, then it is mine. Oh yeah. And anything I want, it is mine. Perfect health, I need that. Yeah, it is mine. Joy and love, and it is mine. What do you want? Just say it quietly to yourself, yeah. Because it is mine. Joy and peace in my heart. It is mine. Joy and peace in my heart, yeah. It is mine. Love and abundance, yeah. It is mine. That's right. Thank you. All right.
So as we move into this meditative part of our service, let's embody the words of our vision statement together. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions With emerging wisdom, we cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
All right, we're going to get settled in. I invite you to take a deep breath with me. We're going to sing our meditation song by Melissa Filippi, Joy and Peace in My Heart. Please join me in singing. Joy and peace in my heart, always I feel. Joy and peace in my mind, God within revealed. Joy and peace in my life. I am healed. I am healed, yeah. Joy and peace in my heart, always I feel. Joy and peace in my mind, God within revealed. Joy and peace in my life. I am healed. Joy and peace in my heart, always I feel. Joy and peace in my mind, God within revealed. Joy and peace in my life. I am healed. I am healed. I am healed. I am healed. I am healed.
Joy and peace in my heart. Feel the energy in that chant. Joy and peace in my heart, in every part of my being, in every part of your being. Joy and peace. The ancient Egyptians had a beautiful belief about the afterlife. When departed souls got to the entrance of heaven, the gods asked them 2 questions. Their answers determined whether or not they were admitted. First question, have you found joy in your life? And the second question, has your life brought joy to others? As you reflect on these questions, settle in for meditation in a way in which you are comfortable. Perhaps closing your eyes, sitting up straight, relaxing your body, but in the way that you find comfortable. As you inhale, breathe in joy and exhale anything unlike joy. Let it out. As you continue to breathe in, become aware of the in-breath. As you breathe out, aware of the out-breath. In-breath and out-breath. Breathe joy. Breathe it in and out. Become aware that your breathing is teaching you to receive, to give, in-breath and out-breath. Joy in, joy out. Some of us may struggle with thoughts of worthiness to receive. We sometimes search for validation. I know this because I too have struggled with thoughts of worthiness. But when we remember that we were born worthy, it is in that very moment that we start learning to receive. Breathing in, aware of the in-breath. Breathing out, aware of the out-breath. It is time to remember that all the worth you are filling your days trying to have confirmed, trying to have given you, is already here. It has always been here. Breathing joyfully, I remember who I came to be. I remember that I am worthy to give as well as receive. You can remember, dear soul, just follow those ancient rumblings within you in the silence. As we return slowly to the present moment, keep your eyes closed, if you will, for a quiet moment of reflection. If you need help in remembering what it looks like to be, it looks like release, like crossing a threshold into an open field, like being free, like coming to a crossroads and boldly making a life-enhancing choice. It feels like arriving, like all tensions leaving the body, like forgiveness and lightness. It feels and looks as if a hummingbird stops by with a God wink to say, "Hello, dear soul, you are worthy." And you replying, "I am. Thank you." It feels like soul recovery, reconnection with your own identity, and knowing that God knew exactly where you needed to be in this time and place. Open your eyes now, if you will. Can you answer yes to these two questions? 1, have you found joy in your life? And 2, has your life brought joy to others? I pray your answer is a resounding yes, as you give and receive love, joy, and peace. May it be so.
I am one with God. I know the truth. I am one with creation and one with you. There is no separation between all that is Joy and peace in my heart, always I feel. Joy and peace in my mind, God within revealed. Joy and peace in my life. I am healed. I am healed. Yeah. Oh, joy and peace in my heart. Always I feel joy and peace in my mind. God within revealed. Joy and peace in my life. And I am healed. I am healed. Oh, yeah. I am healed. I am healed. Oh, I am healed. I am healed. I am healed. I'm sorry, I lost it there a little bit. Gosh. Thank you. It's been a long 5 months of being sick, so
And
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for filling in for our Paula. What was that about ancient energies? All I heard was ancient. But thank you for that beautiful, beautiful meditation. Thank you for the song. Thank you for the meditation. Yeah, we have this prosperity teaching going on this month, and so on Sundays, Reverend James and I are talking about prosperity, and then I'm doing the Wednesday night program as well. And I was looking at how this has started to fall out, and I was laughing because today we're talking about receiving, and on Wednesday night we're going to be talking about giving. And we're going to take a deep dive into like 7 ways to give, and I thought, well, is that backwards? I got into that chicken and egg thingy. And then I thought about it and I realized that actually this is probably the correct approach to a healthy spiritual giving and receiving. Now I say healthy because so many of the ideas around giving and receiving are negative. You know, I bet most of you have heard the saying that it is better to give than to receive. Anybody ever heard that? Now that comes from the Christian Bible, the book of Acts, chapter 20, verse 35, where Paul writes, "Remember the words of the Lord Jesus that he himself said, it is more blessed to give than to receive." And I suspect most of us have heard this a lot, whether we were raised in a religion or not, because it's such a common thing that just, it's really considered conventional wisdom at this point. I don't think it's particularly wise. So there's 2 things. First of all, I don't think it's particularly good advice. And according to the Fillmore Study Bible, Jesus never said that. If you go into the Bible, there's no place in the Bible where Jesus said it is more blessed to give than to receive. Paul just was making stuff up. Like any good spiritual teacher makes stuff up. So. And it also goes to show that the internet did not create this plague of misquoting famous people. It just kind of speeded it up. Okay, but I digress. So what if I tell you that receiving is as equally as important as giving? Now, if some of you are uncomfortable with that statement, you're in good company. And so don't beat yourself up for that, because we as a culture carry a lot of baggage about receiving. And, you know, I got to thinking about why this is, and I did some research, and I was really amazed, and of course this research is, you know, it's like going out online, that there are, I can't tell you how many websites there are that deal with people learning to receive. It was, you know, there's one that's 12 ways to learn to receive, 5 steps to receiving, why you can't receive, and it goes on, and I won't bore you with that. So I thought, is it possible that just that one statement that had become so pervasive did this to us? And I thought, well, no. Yes and no. Certainly there's a seed there, but there's also many factors that come to play in this kind of a situation. And this is really important, and I want to talk about it because our prosperity really depends on our ability to receive as much as it does to give. Now, one of the concerns that people have about the idea of giving, one of the ideas that people have is that giving and taking are the same. And receiving, and they're just not comfortable with taking. Giving is different from taking. Taking is a one-way street. A taker is a person who takes something and gives nothing in return. Whether it's a thank you or a payment or some symbol of gratitude, they just take it and go. And then there's the misconception that doing and giving, and I got that wrong back there, is the taking and receiving are not the same thing. Doing and giving, people think that's the same as well. Well, I'm doing that, I'm giving you something, but it is also possible to do something for someone and then just go, and there's no connection. So doing is a one-way street going out, and taking is a one-way street coming in. So what that means that the exchange that happens along the way gets short-circuited if you're in the taking and doing mode. But if you're in the giving and receiving mode, it's very different. That's why it's so important to understand that giving and receiving are part of our energetic circulatory system. This is about a lot more than just the exchange of material items or favors that we do for each other. Circulation is not optional. Everything in our material world is constantly in motion. Atoms are made up of electrons and protons and neutrons, and they're in constant motion. All the material in the things in this room, including us, are made from atoms which are in constant motion. This podium only seems solid because the atoms are moving more slowly. We don't see the air because those atoms are moving faster. Lack of circulation, okay, we've got that thing, in our bodies called blood, and it circulates and air circulates, right? Lack of circulation causes contraction, and contraction causes stagnation, and that's often where we get stuck. So when we're unable to receive, we're contracting, and that interferes with circulation. Not only our physical, mental, and emotional circulation, but the circulation out in the world as well. When we relax and allow good to come in, we expand, we relax. So the question becomes, of course, again, why do we struggle so much with receiving? Now, some of the ideas I came up in this research said that difficulty in receiving might reflect the fear of becoming dependent on someone. You do that for me, then I'm going to owe you. Or if I let you do it too much, then I won't be able to do it myself. Or that receiving makes you feel vulnerable. Or you might feel disappointed. I let somebody do something for me, and then they don't follow through. Or maybe it's simply a matter of mind reading, thinking that the other person should know what you need and just doing it for you without you asking. I know none of you have ever done that. So those are some of the blocks that are discussed online, but I've thought about this for a lot of years, because when I came into New Thought in the mid-1970s, the prosperity teachings were the really big thing. So I came in through that path. And I took a lot of classes, we did a lot of talking about it. And I realized my own way of looking at it is where my level of deservability. I reflect on, if something's not coming my way, do I feel like I deserve it or not? And the truth is that if you don't believe you deserve something, you are unlikely to get it. And sure, it might come your way, but if you don't think you deserve it, you might reject it out of hand. But it's more likely you just won't even see it coming, and it'll just go right by you. And one of the things I see on the internet that totally drives me bonkers, And it takes a lot to do that for the internet. But there'll be these wonderful little videos or memes with a picture of someone with their dog. And then it says, "We don't deserve dogs." Yes, we do. And I do that to the computer every time. Yes, we do deserve dogs. We wouldn't have them if we didn't deserve them. And it's like, people, that's why God, that's why there's love in the world. We do deserve it. And every time, and I had to finally stop looking at them because I really get myself wound up over that, which is, of course, silly. But we do deserve the good things that come into our lives. And this persistent thing of we don't deserve this or that, it's not good for us. We needed to be in that place of I deserve all the good that can come my way. And I don't ever actually comment, by the way. I only just sort of grumble at the computer because I would be typing in all caps, and I do not yell on Facebook. It's very rude. But the whole deservability thing has its roots in our subconscious programming. And Reverend James has been talking about our subconscious for the last, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. And how important it is to become aware of those thought processes that we're not completely aware of. To tune into the subconscious messages that we send ourselves on an ongoing basis. Now, I have a friend who was experiencing a very challenging financial situation, and it went on for several years. And one day we were having lunch, and she was talking about the whole thing, and I just asked her a question. I said, is it possible that you don't necessarily think you deserve to be financially stable? And she says, oh, no, that's not it. And so I let it go. In further conversation, it became clear that in some ways she believed she did deserve what was happening to her then, because she had a horrendous childhood. And I, to this day, am amazed that she's even a functional human being. And a lot of times, people who have been abused as children believe it was their fault, and so they deserve what they got. And this was probably one of those cases. But about a year later, we were having lunch again, and she was talking about this, and things had gotten slightly better. And so I just, casually said again, do you think maybe there's something where you don't feel like you deserve for things to get better? Oh, no, that's not it. Like, okay. Almost exactly a year later, we went to lunch. In fact, we didn't go to lunch very often. And midway in the conversation, she stopped and she said, I'm starting to think that maybe this is happening because I don't think I deserve it. I didn't laugh, and I did not remind her that I've been telling her that or asking her about that for 2 years because it was so wonderful to see her start to come to it on her own. And it really took her almost another 10 years to get her life back together again. But she never gave up. She now lives in another state. She's recently married. Her finances and her life are stable. Or as stable as probably she's ever going to feel like she deserves. But she made huge, huge strides, and at some point, that little comment, I think, started to soak in. And she finally realized that she did deserve to be happy, and she didn't deserve to be miserable and struggling. And granted, that's an extreme case. But we have the things like, and this seems really small, but it's like, well, I was a bad student, so I don't deserve to have a good job. All of those messages that we got when we were kids, right? Or we might say, I should have known better. I now deserve this. Well, if we knew better, we wouldn't have done it. And so it's always interesting to me that we often accept that the negative is somehow okay and that we deserve that, but we kind of reject the positive. And we don't necessarily do it intentionally. It's just that subconscious programming doing its thing. A couple of weeks ago, Reverend James said something about we don't need to earn our good, and I don't remember exactly what it was, and I didn't go back and look it up. And the fact that we cannot earn our good. We can't earn it by doing things in the physical realm when our consciousness is not in alignment with spirit and with our possible good. And the note I made about that is that we can earn our good in a sense when we agree with the program the one that says, no discussion of deservability would be complete without the mention of the imposter syndrome that's often talked about this day. I see I think it's a lot of younger people, and they talk about it on Facebook, and I think musicians do this a lot, but that I have, it just came instead. And so I thought, do I feel they keep, everybody else is okay with it, why should I on in my life? And so that whole imposter thing is really very much an internal process of people feeling not you. And then think about these people. Are they smart people? Of course they are. They engaged you. They hired you. They brought you in. Do they seem competent to you? Of course they are. Do they walk around looking for ways to mess you up or for you to mess up? The answer is probably no. Are these smart and aware people? Of course they are. They hired you. When you start looking at it from that, these are smart people. They know what they're doing. So really, when you're doubting yourself, you're actually doubting those other people too. So when you're in that situation and people are supporting you, it's like just allow yourself to be who you are. The thing is that if you believe, if people agree you belong, then you deserve to be there. If that dog agrees that you're the coolest human in the world, you deserve to have that dog. It's really that simple. And if they don't agree, then you deserve to be in a better place, a different place. And that's that simple. Accept that you're accepted. Not accepting that you are accepted is just another. Even when you cannot understand why a person is giving something to you, be gracious. Accept. Receive. When good comes to you and you feel like you don't deserve it or that you're being needy and greedy, remember the principle of circulation. All of life is in motion all of the time. Life is spirit in motion. It is inevitable, and you can't stop it. But you can set up a resistance, and that slows things down and diverts the energetic stream in maybe a different direction. So remember that we are all part of the same energetic patterns, the expression of spirit in this world. We are so interconnected, honestly, we can't see it objectively. There was an interesting thing in the Abundance Project book, and he says that the reason that we have, and I thought, what a great way to explain why there's separation, even because we are one, and if we didn't have a little bit of separation, we couldn't avoid each other. And I loved that. Because we are all one big energy, and yet we are individuals as well. So when you refuse another person's offering, you're not only deflecting your own prosperity, you are interfering with their prosperity because you are stopping the flow and you're cutting off circulation. When a person offers to do something for you or give you something or pay you for a service, no matter how uncomfortable you are, please accept. You deserve to be safe, and so do they. You deserve to be whole, and so do they. You deserve to be content, and so do they. You deserve to have all that you need to live a full life, and so do they. Learn to receive with grace. Learn to receive with joy. Learn to receive with love. Receiving is the greatest gift you can give the giver. And going back to that passage in Acts, I think we can safely edit to say it is as much a blessing to give as it is to receive. And so it is.
Thank you, Rev. For some reason, I was thinking about this statement that sometimes comes in my mind. When you believe you deserve it, the universe will serve it. So you just got to be, it's always serving it. We just have to be able to willing to just accept it and receive it. So thank you for just that wonderful reminder. Well, next week, Deborah's going to finish up this series we're doing, Manifesting Anything, Part 4, Discovering Your Channels for Abundance. So we look forward to that continuation of this series. If you want prayer immediately after the service, the chaplains are available to pray with you in the courtyard. The chaplains are wearing the white stoles, and if you have a challenge that you're going through or growing through, they're there to support you, to see it from a higher point of view. Or if you have something joyous in your life that you want to just add fuel to the energy, they'll help you even enjoy it that much more. So they'll be available to pray with you immediately after the service. For those who are online, like to stay connected with us, you can fill out a welcome card, and we'll let you know what's going on at Spiritual Life Center, some of our activities and events that are taking place. And for those who are here today for the very first time, any first-timers here this morning? I'll just keep your hand up nice and high. We have a card we'd like to give you that you can fill out, and we'll keep you in contact with what's happening at Spiritual Life Center if you'd like to do that. And if you want to get a special hug or support from one of our members or friends of Spiritual Life Center, just wear the blue ribbon, and we'll be able to know who you are here for the first time. And we appreciate you. We behold the magnificence that you are, and we see you doing outstanding things in your life. And we thank you for your presence and bringing your consciousness to our community. For those who would like to support us or online, either watching now or when we have a replay, you can support Spiritual Life Center and really help us spread this message of possibilities of our human spirit by simply texting SLC Love to 44321. That's SLC Love to 44321. Or go to our website, slcworld.org, click the Donate tab, and you can give in other ways, including by mail. For those who are present this morning who would like to support with their gift or offering, or if you've given already online or electronically, which is our preference, know that you're in the flow of circulation, that whatever you give out, it does indeed come back to you in ways you never imagined. So I invite you to take your gift or love offering that you're giving today, for those who are doing so. Symbolically raise it to the heavens, which is always ever-expanding good that is there for us, as we affirm together our offertory blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
Lately I've been noticing how much I've been blessed with people to love, some peace of mind and happiness. It makes me want to pass along this love I've received as a way of giving thanks for what's been given to me. I've got a strong heart. I've got a strong love, and I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. Ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. I used to have a lust for more that bordered on greed, till I looked around and saw that I had more than I needed. I thought I had to have it all before I could share, till I realized what's mine to give has always been there. I've got a strong heart. I've got a strong love, and I'm ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. Ready to use the gifts I've been given to make this world a better place to live in. I may not make a difference that the whole world can see, but if I can show more kindness, that's what matters to me. I'm changing on the outside, but I'm here too deep
And thank you for using the gift you've been given for us and all of those for our Soul Light Connection. Doug sitting in and doing his thing as Paula continues on a healing journey, and all of our members of our Soul Light Connection band. Well, we take this moment to bless those who have blessed us with their gifts and offerings, knowing that we can provide a place for those who are looking to grow, develop, and unfold, and become the very best that they're here to be. We recognize that we are all here to fulfill our potential as expressions of the Spirit of the living God. Know that we are born worthy, and because of that, we're born a blessing, that anything that comes to us and for us is indeed something that we need not have to make happen. We just have to make it welcome. And so we make it welcome by simply being an open, receptive, and vessel of the Spirit of God. For those who have left their prayers in the prayer box, we recognize that all of us have challenges from time to time. And there's times we need to turn over our will to the will of the Spirit that is greater than us, that knows the answer even before we know what the question is. For we know that this spiritual presence only deals with divine and perfect spiritual solutions. And when we let that expression of God be expressed through us and let go and let this presence guide us, direct us, uplift us, we begin to see that solution. We begin to recognize that there is always everything the presence wants for us coming to us. And even in seeming challenges in our life, we recognize that they are either to help us learn and grow, or to learn from in some way, shape, or form, or to enjoy. So as we go forth today, we know that even though we may not know all the answers, the Spirit of God does. Because before they call, I've already answered you. We know that phrase. And so as we allow this answer to come to us and through us, we know that all is well. For this and so much more, we're grateful and thankful as we go forth doing our part to amplify and spread the all good known as the Spirit of the living God. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, at this time, let us affirm our prayer for protection and take these words in and know that they're the truth of our being. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. And that's the truth. Let's sing our peace song. To you. Have a magnificent week. Thank you, sir.